Welcome, everyone. How are you doing today? This is Virginia Parsons, your Hangout mentor and the host of the Inspirational Business Women show, where you already know, if you have been with me for a while, that it is my passion and my purpose to provide you, the viewer, with a gold mine of entrepreneurial tips, strategies, and advice from inspirational business women in the know. And if I got just the lady for you today, I'll be introducing you to her in just a moment. But first of all, I want to acknowledge you, the viewer. I love that you're here, that you're taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And I really want to make this valuable for you. And I also like to hear from you. So let us know where you're hanging out from. I'm hanging out from beautiful Reno, Nevada. And I just love to hear about what you're doing, because this is to be a collaborative of inspirational business women and men who can help uplift, share, and inspire one another. So I'd love to hear from you on that account. Now, today's show is sponsored by hangout-marketing.com, where you can receive a free Hangout marketing assessment that's going to basically give you feedback on what your knowledge base and your skill set are in using Hangouts and Air to brand, grow, and market your own business. So all you have to do to take advantage of that assessment, if you haven't done it yet, it'll only take you a couple minutes. Just pick up your phone and text the word success. That's it, SUCCESS. Text that to area code 307-269-2040, or if you're out of the country, you can just go to hangout-marketing.com and take the assessment there. And you might even qualify for a free strategy session with me, where we'll really sit down together and talk about your business and strategize how you can use Hangouts to grow your business and to get the exposure that you deserve. So go ahead and take advantage of that, won't you? Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of today's show. I'm excited to bring to you someone who I think is very special. Her name is Bonnie Frank. She is the founder and the force behind the Women in Biz, and she's going to be able to tell you all about that in just a moment. But let's talk a little bit about today about what is today's topic? What am I bringing to you that I really want you to take action on, to get some of these tips and strategies and go out and use them in your own business? And that is authentic marketing strategies that are going to help save you time and money. Now, who doesn't need that in their lives? A little more time and saving money and being authentic all at the same time. Well, Bonnie is going to introduce us to that concept in a whole new level, because we're going to be talking about identifying your unique why, which is also some people called your unique selling proposition, your USP. We're going to discuss also using Periscope to connect with your ideal audience. Oh my goodness, a whole different video type that we're going to talk about today, even though I'm passionate about Hangouts. There's so many other video programs out there that we need to become familiar with to grow our business, and Periscope is one of them. We're finally going to talk about the top Periscope engagement strategies that Bonnie's using and that she suggests you consider using. So Bonnie, go ahead and unmute yourself and come on in and say hi to our audience, won't you?
All right. Hello.
It's great to have you here, my dear. We really appreciate your taking the time. And I really want you to start by sharing with people your background, because it's interesting. You were a college professor for years, and I understand you became kind of disillusioned about our educational way of doing things, right? So let people know how you went from college professor to being the force and the founder behind the Woman in Biz show, or the Woman in Biz, not the show.
Yes. It is the show today. Yes, that's true, Virginia. I was a teacher and a college professor for years. I taught for decades. And then I got very disillusioned with what's been happening in United States education with Common Core. And it got to the point where I was no longer frustrated by the system. I could not be part of it. They were asking me to do things that were not in the best interest of my students. And so I found something else to do. So I was a full-time blogger for a year after retiring from teaching. And then I started the Women in Biz. And the Women in Biz provides anything and everything I can possibly provide for entrepreneurs just starting out in their business, for them to grow both personally and professionally.
Well, I think that's really exciting because you have basically transformed being a teacher into being a success coach, and then you have provided people with a whole vehicle through the Women in Biz in ways that they can grow their own business. So I'm very excited about that. Let's share a little bit about, what your own challenges were as you transformed from being a professor into being a success coach.
Yeah, well, coaching and teaching go hand in hand. Teaching is more consulting in that, it's more, why don't you try it the way I've tried it, or see if you can do this, right? And coaching is really, it takes the stance of the answers are within your client, and it's your job to get them to find their own answers. So it involves a lot of questioning. And so, if I have to be honest here, I probably do some coaching and consulting. So one of the biggest frustrations I had was that, not that I didn't have a business background, because I read tons, I took online courses, I participated in webinars, so I really felt that I was gaining the background that way. But it was the support system that I was lacking. And I didn't have a tribe. I was coming from no support system. All of my friends were teachers. None of them were entrepreneurs. My husband was an entrepreneur, but that was really it. And so none of my friends worked for themselves, and they didn't really understand the mindset of working, of what it's like to work for yourself. And so that's why I created the Women in Biz, to give them that support, to give men and to give women and a few brave men the support, the network, and the foundation that they need to really start their businesses and grow their businesses. So we provide events. We do an event a year, and we have Facebook groups, networking groups that I run. I also have a live women's networking group here in St. Louis where I live, and then I also provide success coaching. But besides that, we have loads and loads of free resources on our website.
Terrific. And I just want to say that you are hanging out then from St. Louis, you said, right? And we've got a few other people here.
Yes, correct.
Let's acknowledge them. I love it. The comments are flying in here faster than I can on top of them. Peter,
oh my gosh,
if you had some popcorn, I'm sorry, I don't have any, but that sounds really good. Thanks for bringing that up. We've got Johan Clay, and if I butcher your names, I'm so sorry. Clays, I think it is, saying hello to everyone. He did not tell us where he was from, though. Johan, you might want to put that in. Rachel Orsi is here from Baltimore, Maryland. Pamela Zeman is here. By the way, Pamela will be on my show next week. Looking forward to that. She's here
great.
from Oregon, I believe it is. She didn't say. Rain Dow from Canada. And Richard Wright we've got. And there's quite a few more. They're flying past me faster than I can bring them up to date. I know there's someone here from Germany and another one here from England. So thanks, you guys, for being part of all this. It truly is an international show, and it's not just for women. And when she mentioned that there were a few brave men taking part in the Woman in Biz, hey, they're not brave men. They're smart men, aren't they, Bonnie?
Smart men. Exactly.
All right, well, let's get busy on the first topic, which is identifying your unique why or what we call your unique selling proposition. How are people going to use that to be more authentic in their marketing?
Okay, well, I was actually just talking about that this morning. I was doing a scope, a Periscope broadcast is called a scope, and I was doing one this morning on manifesting what you want. And the very first part of manifesting what you want is having a very clear why. That's more than I want to work for myself. It's more than I want to make more money. It's more than I don't like my boss and I don't want to be around him anymore, right? So it's the real why. It's the crux of why you are doing what you're doing. So for example, my why is the reason why I have created the Women in Biz is to create a supportive and nurturing environment for people who are starting out in their businesses and trying to grow their businesses, an environment that I myself did not have when I was starting out. So that is my why of having the Women in Biz.
All right, so let's talk about it from the standpoint of it being a unique selling proposition. How can people look at their own why, their own passion, and make sure that it is truly unique and authentic for themselves?
Okay, so when I talk to people, whether it's like this, or whether it's on Periscope, or when I'm delivering webinars, or in my other social media posts, or my tweets, or my blog articles, everything should really align with exactly what I just said, align with my why. Everything, all of my ads, all of my posts, all of my interaction, all of my communication should align with providing more support for personal and professional growth for business owners. So if I'm writing a blog post, it should be something about that, right? So the Women in Biz talks about, we deal with women's issues, self-care, and business topics. So everything that I put out in communication should deal with that. And it should all be under the umbrella of providing the supportive environment and all of the resources so that other people have a much easier time. So for example, if I'm providing different business tools, like I did a scope on free business tools that I use, so that aligns with the business topics. It also aligns with providing the supportive environment so that other people can grow their businesses.
Well, that's terrific. And I'm really the same way. My big why is that I just think that Hangouts on Air are the most amazing tool to help people connect authentically, engage with what would be their ideal audience, and really brand themselves as a professional. So for me, my big passion, my big why, my big USP, if you want to call it, is that you have a message, and that you deserve to get your message out to the world, and you deserve to gain an expert status in what you're doing. So my big why and everything that I do around that is to reinforce that idea that you really need to get your message out. And so we're going to move into sort of the first main topic, or the second main topic, which is around Periscope, which is a whole other way to get your message out. And I don't think that Hangouts on Air and Periscope need to be exclusive. I think they can be worked in beautifully to someone's business marketing, especially when you're talking about doing it from an authentic perspective. Because there's nothing more authentic than getting out here live in front of
doing it live, yes.
And just being yourself, and sometimes messing up or whatever, but just being yourself so that people can relate to you as a human being, as not just some big mass marketer, which we certainly don't want to be associated with that when you're a solopreneur or a small business owner. So Let's get into the topic, because I know a lot of people are here to learn about Periscope and using it to connect with your ideal audience. So take it away.
Alrighty, so the very first thing I definitely want to bring up is that Periscope is a free app. It's a 100% free app, and it is made for mobile devices. So it's made for Android and iOS phones and tablets. So it's your iPad, it's your smartphone, it's your iPhone, whatever. So that you can download. You just go to the App Store or go to Google Play, and you download the free app. Then once you do that, you will be able to live stream. You will be able to broadcast live whatever you want. And when you go on Periscope, you see loads of different broadcasts. All of mine deal with business topics. I talk about a lot of Periscope tips because Periscope is so new. The first day, I believe, that Periscope was launched, it was launched, I believe, March 27th. So it is very, very new. And the latest statistics show that 4.4 of all Twitter users are on Periscope. 4.4%. That's not a lot of people. So it's about 7 million people, but it's only 4.4%. So if you get on Periscope today, you will be one of the early adopters. And it is a fabulous, fabulous social media platform where you can engage with your ideal clients, you can meet new folks, and because it is live, similar to Google Hangouts, and by the way, Virginia, people have also done a Google Hangout and scoped it. So they've involved Periscope and Google Hangouts together, which has been very, very exciting to see.
I will have to check into that, definitely.
Yes, you've got to do it. You have got to do it. I have to warn you, Periscope is very addicting. Everybody who gets on Periscope knows that it's very addicting. And it is similar to Meerkat. But I just never tried Meerkat because I got so into Periscope immediately. So I just kept going with Periscope. But the live streaming aspect, the ability to communicate back and forth with your followers is incredible. And it provides immediate gratification for the viewers and the broadcasters, both.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit more because there's so many new tools and technology is constantly evolving. I love that. Okay, so Periscope's been around since March and only 4.4% of Twitter users are using it, but Twitter users obviously aren't the only people using it. So anyone can download Periscope and then start live streaming. And they don't have to just live stream, as you said, through Twitter, but that is one of the simplest ways to do it. Is that correct?
Well, Twitter owns Periscope, similar to the way that Google owns YouTube. Twitter owns Periscope, which is wonderful because when you're involved in Periscope, your Twitter following will grow like gangbusters without you even trying. I mean, you don't have to do a thing, honestly. All you have to do is scope, do Periscope broadcasts, and your Twitter following will grow. So Twitter also has a little button where you can have them automatically shoot out a tweet to everybody on Twitter when you go live, which is wonderful. So that would be the same as when your Google Hangout went live, if it went out to everybody everybody on Twitter. How long do you do a Periscope stream? Some of my scopes are 5 or 10 minutes. One of them was an hour, actually. So it just depends. And they can be any amount of time, and they can be about anything. There are people who have scoped sleeping. I don't understand that, but they have. There are people who have scoped the exercise of the day or different yoga positions. There are a couple of women who I follow who do meditations every day. One does early in the morning and one does around noontime. So there are loads and loads of different things. And as I said, I do mostly business topics and women's issues. And then I also scope a lot about Periscope itself.
So this is very exciting. Now, one of the things that I love about Hangouts is that when this Hangout is done, we have so many people that end up coming to the Hangout as a replay. We call it Replay City, where they watch it and can watch it indefinitely unless I were to take it down because it automatically gets uploaded to my YouTube channel. Now, one of my questions about Periscope is the length of time that a live stream that you do remains available for people to watch. Could you clarify that for us?
Yes, absolutely. So when you go to periscope.tv, they will say that your Periscope broadcasts, and we call those scopes, that your scopes are available for 24 hours. That is true unless you do what I do, which is upload them to YouTube. Other people use Vimeo, and some people have them go to Catch, which is, I don't know if you can see this. Can you guys see this? Does that look Is that written correctly for you, or is it backwards?
No, they can see it correctly.
Okay, good. So catch.me is a brand new website, and it is free, and it will automatically catch, hence the name, all of your Periscope and or Meerkat broadcasts. So I have catch my videos, and I also upload them to YouTube. I edit them on YouTube. I put, a specialized thumbnail on YouTube, and then I will put them on my website, where I have a helpful video library, which is 100% free. So I have 24 different business videos on my website, many of which have come from different scopes. But Periscope itself, although it saves on the Periscope server forever, you can only replay unless you've done something else with it. You can only have a replay or watch the replay for the next 24 hours. So after I scope, I put it out, I blast it out on Twitter that, I did this scope, and you definitely want to watch the replay. But then also many times I will upload it to YouTube, I will promote it on Facebook, on Google+, on LinkedIn, everywhere, Instagram, everywhere. So there's loads of different ways of keeping it alive for more than 24 hours.
Well, let me take a moment here and bring this one up, because thank you, Rain. First of all, hi, how are you doing? I'm glad you were able to join us today, but you just did a great post on comparing Periscope with Meerkat. So those of you who are just catching this as a replay and you're looking at the YouTube video, you need to see what she's put up here for everyone to reference, because I think that we're all in a learning mode, and that's what this is about. So thank you for that. Let's move on to the third part of it, because, as always, time goes by too quickly. What are some of your top Periscope engagement strategies? Because we really do want to know, what we're dealing with as far as engaging with being authentic, engaging with our ideal audience, because that's what we're after connecting with. So let's find out what your top ones are.
Okay, so a couple of different things. First of all, I always have index cards. So, and I will hold them up. I'm trying to sort of opposite of the way I'm looking. So I hold them up, and I always say, hi, I'm Bonnie Frank. This is my Twitter handle, and this is my Periscope handle. You can always find me here. And then directly behind that, I have my URL for my website. So I say, I own the Women in Biz, and it's a one-stop shop for entrepreneurial growth and success. And then as I talk about different things, I will have the URL for that. So like this is the one for my helpful video library on my website. So as I'm talking about those, I will have that. So the index cards are very helpful. People a lot of times will have a write-on board, wipe-off board. They'll have that, or they'll have a piece of paper, something to hold up so that people can not just quick write it down, they can do a screenshot of it. Because keep in mind, they're on their mobile devices, so they can immediately screenshot it. They don't have to have a pen and paper at all. And then they capture that information, then they can, do whatever they need to with it later on. When people review books, a lot of times they'll hold up the book, and then we take a screenshot of the book cover, and then we can find it easily that way. So when you are scoping, right, when you're doing a live broadcast, the cards are very, very helpful. They help me, and they also help my viewers. And also keep in mind that people are coming and going. A lot of times, when you go to a Google Hangout, you might get interrupted, and you might have to see the replay, right? So on a Periscope broadcast, it's very similar with people coming and going. And one of the big things to know is that you need to maintain eye contact. So sometimes when you're on Periscope, you get a little sidetracked because you have hearts coming up one side. Hearts are like clapping. And when you are on Periscope, when you're watching a broadcast, all you do is tap, tap, tap on the screen. And every time you tap on your screen, hearts will float up. And it'll be the same color as your photo for that day. And it changes every day, a different color. So that's the way you can show your appreciation for who's talking. It's sort of like clapping. And then you can also type in, similar to a chat box, you can also type in comments. And so you see comments going up one side and hearts going up the other. So it can get a little distracting. So I always remind people to maintain eye contact, to remember where the camera is, so that they're actually, it appears as though they are really maintaining eye contact with the people viewing. And for example, there can be loads and loads of people viewing. Only a certain number can be able to chat. It's somewhere around 100, where nobody's really sure the exact number. And then other people can watch via the web. So for example, today I had about 400 people watching me do, I was talking about self-sabotage, and I had about 400 people watching me. Well, all 400 couldn't comment. 100 people could comment, but not all 400. And I didn't even realize how many people were in there until I went back when I was going to share it, and I saw in the statistics that Periscope keeps. I thought, oh my goodness, I had no idea all these people were in there. And then there will be more people watching the replay. So it's a fabulous way, like you were saying, to get the message out. Other tips will be to acknowledge people. Definitely acknowledge them. Hey, Sarah 123, I see you're back. Thank you so much. I love having you in here. I'm so glad you were in the whatever chat, whatever topic, and I'm glad that you're back for talking about self-sabotage or manifesting or business topics, whatever it would be. So acknowledge them. Definitely give value, value. And you can make money off Periscope. I have a course right now, and I've been selling that off Periscope. I've sold my coaching off Periscope. I've sold other products that I have in the store. But you can't just go on and on your very first scope say, hi, I'm Bonnie, I own the Women in Biz, and go to my store and buy my stuff, right? You can't do that. So it's exactly like Gary Vaynerchuk said, jab, 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 right hook, right? So you're going to provide so much value, and then you can let them know that you have something for sale. I didn't let anyone know that I had anything for sale until I had gone through several different broadcasts, and people started to ask me. So then I would mention that I do success coaching, or I do have this product, or like today is the start of my course, which involves effectively using Periscope and monetizing that, and 3 other platforms as well.
Okay, lots of great stuff here, right, everyone? I hope that you're taking notes. I hope that you're using or are going to get onto Periscope and start playing with it. I'm going to bring some comments up here, Bonnie, in just a second, but I wanted to point out that I'm going to be very interested in the comment limitation factor and how I would be able to use Hangouts in there, which has unlimited comments. Let's take that back. There are some limitations with it, but they're not as much as what it looks like Periscope has. So I really want to look into that. But, the connection with the audience is huge. You know how I feel about that. You've got to fall in love with your camera, because that means you're falling in love with the people who are there, who are taking their time to be with you, to follow you, and to listen to what you have to say. So the index cards, great ideas there. Of course, I grew up on Hangout on Air using index cards, and then advanced to some more advanced techniques. But there's nothing wrong with holding up an index card, right? Let me bring up another comment by Rain. Good questions here, Rain. She wants to know, does Catch.me capture the questions, comments, and hearts on Periscope?
Yes, it does. Catch.me does. And that is really nice. Also, now hello, Peter Lund. Oh my goodness. Peter Lund is one of my favorite people. He's always on my scopes. I love him. Hello, Peter. So yes, it does capture all those, and that's really great. Now there's another way to capture that, and that is through QuickTime. Or there's another one for PCs, and I can't remember what it's called, something Mirror, I think, where you record what's on the screen. So what I've done is I've gone back, and then I will use QuickTime to record what it shows on the screen, and that will show the hearts and all of the comments. But Catch absolutely shows all of the comments and hearts, which is wonderful.
All right, well, here's one from, let's see. Pamela. Yes, Pamela, thank you. I've got too many things going on at once here. She says, screenshot a whiteboard from the phone Okay, or using index cards. So many great tips, Bonnie. Okay, thanks for hosting. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're just on at the precipice, really, of how to use all of these things in a way that's going to engage. And isn't that what it's about? It's really about engagement. And you guys are being great engaging today. I just love it. Now, we've already gone past our 30 minutes. That's always what happens. My whole goal is to give you actionable tips that you go and take action on. So I hope, first of all, that all of you go download the Periscope app and play with it and start talking to each other and, just have some fun. And let's report back both on the comment section here, and maybe we'll have to do a follow-up show on this, but let's all give each other feedback, okay? And there, Bonnie.
And be sure and follow me at Bonnie L. Frank. So I'm always giving tons of value, tons of Periscope tips. It is a little confusing at the beginning, so I am here to help. So be sure to follow me on Periscope.
Oh, wonderful. Now, if you have more questions, because I see lots of things flowing through here, why don't you join us in the after show? I'm going to put that post into the comment section, and as I do, I'm going to let Bonnie sort of summarize everything and give us her final thoughts and where she thinks Periscope is going and how she plans to use Periscope in her future marketing that is authentically connecting with her ideal audience. So you go ahead and do that, Bonnie, while I put the link up for the after show.
Okay, great. Well, Periscope has absolutely surpassed all of the other social media platforms I'm on. I'm on 9 other social media platforms, and as far as I'm concerned, it is the best of all of them. It is my absolute favorite. It humanizes social media, and it is such an effective tool to increase and speed up the know, like, and trust factor. We all know that, people have to know us, they have to like us, and they have to trust us before they're going to buy from us, right? Use our products and services. And similar to Google Hangouts, you see people as whole beings. You don't just see a static image. You don't just hear their voice without a body attached to it. You're not just reading their copy. You're seeing everything all at the same time. You're seeing the whole package. And it really has just absolutely brought the social back to social media.
Hang on, I'm going back and forth with muting and unmuting, and there's just so many comments here. Before we say goodbye, I'm bringing a few of them up if I can catch them before they're gone. Let me bring Susan's up. Hi, Susan, great to see you here. This is the first explanation that has really given me a reason to try Periscope.
Yay!
So, Bonnie, you did good on that one for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Denise, thank you for your nice comment. She says, nice job. There's so many. Okay, Jane Gardner, how great to see you here. She's got lots of comments. She's really been using Periscope. Let me bring this one up before we sign off. This is from Jane. Love watching church service from Periscope. Now, who would have thought about that?
Right.
As they use live music. Okay, so you guys, I think we're just scratching the surface on what you can do with Periscope. So my request to you, and I hope you'll go ahead and come on in and join us in the after show. I have posted that link for you because I bet you have some more questions for Bonnie. And we'll stick around for a little while to answer those. Plus, it's so much fun to meet you. I love having you come in and just say hi. If you don't even have a question, that's okay too. But again, I want to thank you all for being here and, really making the show come to life with your interaction, with your questions, with your involvement. And again, it's my true wish and passion that you pick up some tips from each show that we do and go use them in your own business. So thank you so much for joining us. Bonnie, thank you again for being here. And I hope we'll see you all in the after show. You want to say bye, Bonnie?
All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on Periscope.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.